So I started, like I say, when I was left school when I was 17. So I did a year at college and then ended up working for BT as a clerical assistant. So basically filing. And then I worked through eventually sort of doing a lot of business management, and then project management was where I sort of finished my last 15 years or so with the company. So I did 35 years with them in the end. And the majority of that was working in project management, launching the fibre products like the fibre speeds that we have now with BT, the hubs, launching the various different sort of connotations of the hubs as they improved, working with the email systems as well, integrating Yahoo with BT, etc. So it's quite varied. When I joined BT, I was working with a lot of people that were sort of in their 50s, and the BT pension, you had to join the BT pension then. And I always had one eye on retiring in my mid-50s, 55. I thought if I could retire at 55, that would be brilliant. And my thinking behind that was that I never saw a poor BT pensioner. They always had nice cars. They always going on holiday. And I thought, I'll have a piece of that, thank you very much. And the pension was very good. So I thought if I stuck with BT for my entire working life, I could build up a really nice pension pot there and have a bit of basically what they had as well. So that really was my thinking behind it. And also I had no desire to leave the company either, because it's such a massive company that if you stagnate in one role, for example, you can go and apply or train to be something else. So the choices in that company was huge. So I thought, I'm going to invest in my pension pot, invest in my pension, invest in the company as well, and be loyal to them because they were loyal to me as well. But it was a case of, right, okay, if I can retire at 55, I'll be a happy man, because, you know, that's nearly 40 years worth of service and 40 years worth of pension contributions. So I just thought, well, that'll do. In 2018, December 2018, there were big restructuring going on within the company, and they wanted project managers and product managers to be located in call centres, to be with the people at the grassroots level. Now I'm in Mildenhall here, and we don't have a local call centre. My local call centres were Leicester and Lincoln. So the requirement was for me to travel 3 days a week minimum to those call centres to work. Now that's a 5-hour round trip, and it would have cost a lot of money to do. And I just didn't want to do it. So I asked my director, is there any chance of me taking a package? Knowing that I'd had all those years service, and it was done on yearly service as well. And in the end, it was a case of, yes, you know, they gave me an offer that was basically too good to turn down. So I took my redundancy, well, my leavers package, which was quite significant, but I also could take my pension at 50 and my pension lump sum at 50 because I'd been with the company for so long. So therefore, what I did is I basically took that because it was just a few years earlier anyway that I was looking to retire. And I thought, well, I can pay the house off. I can put money in the bank. I've got financial security of a pension coming in. I thought, well, I'm not going to get this offer again. So let's just do it. Let's bite the bullet and do it. And at that time, I was always toying with the idea of the business that I've got now, the dog photography business. So I had sort of one eye on that. And I thought, well, this is almost a risk-free venture because I've got my house is paid for. I've got some, you know, nice fallback money. I've got a pension coming in. Just do it. it was just one of those things where it's just, let's just go for it. I didn't really think about this business that I'm doing until I got my border collie 8 years ago, when I picked the camera up again and thinking, oh, this would be great to do this as a business. Wouldn't it be great to just go out and photograph people's dogs as a nice little business? But financially, it wasn't possible at that time. It was only financially possible when I'd made the decision or had the opportunity to take the package and run, basically. The financial part of my business isn't the main driver. The main driver is going out, having fun, meeting people, having a great time with their dogs, because that's what I love. So when I viewed this business, it would be, let's see what happens. It'll be great fun anyway. And even if I just do it on a weekend, well, hey, you know, I get Monday to Friday out and put my feet up and do whatever I want. Having said that, it is now pretty much a full-time job. But it's not a job, if you see what I mean. It's going out on location with the dogs and the people and spending time with them and having fun and just having a great time. So my life is significantly enhanced from a work perspective, where this doesn't actually feel like work, if you see what I mean. I know I love doing what I do, but I'm not a slave to somebody else. I'm not a slave to conference calls. I can put as many shoots in a week or a month as I want. I've done a 2-day course with another dog photographer up in Preston, who is just fantastic. And I went to her shortly after I started my business, just to get hints and tips, and we're all learning off of each other as well, you know. And now I teach people as well dog photography on a one-to-one basis when they wish to. So it's all self-taught, really. But if you've got a question, you can ask somebody else or get some feedback. You know, I'm a member of the Guild of Professional Photographers, and each month they have competitions, and you can put your images in that and get awards, and then get feedback on it and what things could be done better. And so you're always learning, you're always evolving, you're always looking at different locations to do shoots with, and just trying to, I suppose, increase your skill set as well. I'm not one of these photographers that over edits my photos, so I don't need to know how Photoshop works inside out, because that's not my style. My style is to try to keep it as real as possible. So you could do multiple editing courses if you wish to, but it's just not really what floats my boat. I'd rather get it right in camera, do a small amount of processing, but keep it as real to the experience that the client has had with me, because it is a dog photography experience as well as a photo shoot. I get them involved in it. So it's you know, it's just keeping it real for me. Most of it's Facebook, doing a lot of networking with dog related sites, local sites, community sort of forums and that type of stuff. That generates quite a bit of the chat and the orders, or the you know, the bookings. But now it's very much word of mouth. And also this year, I've been really fortunate to have a lot of PR this year. And it started off on the back of, I was sitting here on a Sunday evening, and I just thought, what else can I do to, you know, get it out there? So I drew up an email and sent it over to BBC Look East. Just on there, I went on their website, contact me, have you got a story that you'd like to tell? So I thought, right, I'm going to put a headline, I make dogs fly. That was the headline. Put a blurb in there about me and what I do, a couple of images, pinged it off. I thought this will just go into the spam folder. It's not even get looked at. Monday morning, I get a phone call from them. Tuesday morning, I'm filming with them. And then during the course of that week, ITV gets hold of it. Then the radio stations get hold of it. Then the national press get hold of it. So we're talking double page in Daily Star, Mail, Telegraph, Star, no, it says Star, a couple of other newspapers as well. They get hold of it. Then magazines get hold of it. So I ended up in multiple different magazines. Even magazines like The People's Friend. You know, it's been going years ago, years and years. So in June, you know, 3-page article about it in there. And then I get a phone call from People magazine in New York. We want to do a feature on you. It's like, okay, fine. So I'm sitting there doing exactly the same as this with the People magazine in New York. So the PR side of it, for me, the pushing the marketing side, has almost dropped down because it's taken over by what I've had this year. The word's got about. And that came to reality when I was at this show over the weekend. Many people going, I've seen that image on TV. I've seen that image in the newspaper. Weren't you on Escape to the Country? I did a bit on Escape to the Country where I was showing somebody how to do dog photography. Weren't you on TV on the location? And that's how it goes. And that was the objective. Let's get people to put a face to the name to what I do. So it has been brilliant this year, and it's just elevated my business to the next level in terms of visibility. Somebody wants a dog photographer. Oh, it's Nigel Wallace is a dog photographer, not necessarily somebody who does everything like weddings and babies and stuff.